Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper, and I am so excited today to show you how to make this wonderful rectangle swing card. I made it for a graduation present and a graduation card, and when you open it, it swings out, this panel, and it's just really so cool. Nice surprise for the recipient. This is made with a beautiful World of Good sweet products from the cardstock. I mean the designer series paper, some brass foil foil sheets that's brand new. Anyway, I just really love it. So let's get busy on the card. You are going to need an 8.5 by 11 piece of 8.5 by 5.5 piece of the new color cinnamon cider cardstock, scored at 4 1/4 and folded in half. Then you're going to use the light color with the gold foil of the designer series paper, and I have already glued it down with snail to my card front, and to save time I cut out the opening. We're going to be using these dies, which are the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I used this largest one of the designer of the shaped ones to cut out the center of the card front. You also need a piece of the cinnamon cider card to cut out the largest of the rectangular ones. This is going to be the piece that comes out like that. And then you're going to need a piece of the grid type designer series paper that I cut with the next smaller designer series. Stitch So Sweetly dies. On top of that, you're going to need a piece of the cinnamon cider cardstock that is 5.5 by 2 inches wide. Going to need a piece that is 3 inches by 2 inches. Going to need a scrap of the brass foil paper to cut out the globe and the base. And you're going to need a scrap of basic black cardstock to cut out a plain circle. And those dies are part of this die set that goes along with the World of Good suite. So I use this die, this one, and I use the one with the United States and South America, North and South America, to cut out these things. You'll need a piece of 2 inch by 1 7/8 inch to decorate the inside of the mechanism. And then you need a piece that is 1 7/8 inch by 1 1/8 inch for this, if you can see it, this inside piece here. And I'll have these directions on my blog tomorrow so that you can check on that to make them. Okay, so that is what we need to start with. And we're going to start first with the mechanism. And with the 5-inch, 5.5-inch by 2-inch, we are going to score at a 1/2 inch. And then I turned it around, and you're going to score at 2 3/4 inch. And again at 4 inches. Okay, so you still can't see that. Let me go back and show you again. Oh, see if I can make it so that you can see the score marks better. Will that work? Well, I can turn it around this way. Okay, so first score was at 1/2 inch, and I did it this direction because it's easier for me than putting it. You've got more to block to score against because this is a short distance here, but if you turn it around this way at a 1/2 inch, you've got all this distance to line it up. So that was the 1/2 inch. Then we do it at 2 3/4, like that. And then we do it at 4 inches, like that. Okay, so that's one part of the mechanism. Then the 3-inch by 2-inch, you score at a 1/2 inch all the way around. So there's the 1/2 inch mark. Score. Turn it 1/2 inch to a 1/2 inch. And you score. Again, 1/2 inch on this side. And score. And a 1/2 inch on the last one. And we are through with scoring, so I'll put this out of the way. Okay, so this piece has been scored at 1/2 inch all the way around. And this little corner here, I'm going to cut out, because we don't need that, on all 4 corners. I'm getting so excited. The new catalog for 2020-2021 will go live June 3rd. That is not quite a week away. And I have my order all planned out for what I'm going to order. As a demonstrator, we get to pre-order some things, but they don't let you pre-order everything from the catalog. And there's one suite, a Pampered Pets, that I really, really, really think is so very cute, and I'm going to buy it. So you fold on the score lines, and you take these 2 long flaps and glue them down to the center. And hold it down to make sure that they are solid, good and solid, so we'll hold it there for a minute. because you don't want your mechanism coming apart. There. Next step is to cut up the middle up to this score line up at the top. I'm going to leave this flap solid so you have two legs. Now let's go on to this 5.5 by 2 inch piece. I'm going to make a valley fold here at the 1/2 inch. And a valley fold at the 4 inch score line. And a mountain fold at the 2 3/4. Okay, so next step is you place the score line, place this piece up against the score line, the 4 inch score line, like that. And on the lower leg, make a mark on the cardstock. Like that. Turn it around, and again putting these score lines on the 4 inch score line. And lining it up. This time we're going to make a mark on this one, where this one goes. Try that again. Okay. Next thing you'll need to have is an X-Acto knife or a craft knife of some sort. And you cut the slit. You could probably do it with your scissors, but the craft knife is a whole lot easier. Make sure you get it through all the cardstock. Oop. Clear down to the end. Like that. And put one leg in the bottom slot. Make it sure that it goes clear up to the score line, like that. And the other leg goes in this slot. Till it goes clear up to the score line. Now if you turn it over, I'm going to put glue on this tab. I like multi-purpose adhesive for it. You could use some tear and tape, but you can't reposition it once you get it stuck down. So glue that down good. And it really doesn't matter which direction you glue it, except that you want to make sure you keep the pieces out of the folds so that they don't cause trouble with the movement of the mechanism. Okay, so now if I fold to right, it will fold down Yep. pulling down well. This is a little crooked, but it really doesn't matter. So this is the way it will look. You've got your two things there, and it folds down like so. Okay, so the next part of the process is we're going to glue this section here, right through here, against here. And you want to put it so it's not quite to the fold. Again, because if you get it over the fold, then the card will not open and shut well. And try to get it centered in the center of your opening of your cardstock, of your card front, I should say. So notice that the fold side is out here and the cut end of the mechanism is there. Let's check. Yep, still will shut nicely. Wipe off any excess glue. Let that sit for a minute. Okay, so when you close your card, you will have, it will look like this. And you'll notice that it overhangs a bit. And that's perfectly fine for the time being. Okay, so the next step is, so we've got our mechanism pretty much in the card. Let's work on the panel. So we'll layer it together like this. And my tutorial that I have written up says to go ahead and finish decorating this panel now. But I discovered after making my second card that getting those things perfectly right did not, it didn't line up real well in here. Wow, couldn't have fixed it. That is pretty good. So you're going to slide that panel in to your card, into your card, centering it the way you want. And you want to make sure that it is centered so that when it's closed, the trim around the edge doesn't show through your opening there. So I think I like that pretty well. And you're going to, this is the part that glues to the panel. So holding the panel in place, apply glue on here. And then fold this over. And press it down. And like I say, this is crooked, but it doesn't really matter too much. I would like to have had it straighter. I mean, it's supposed to be straight. But you know how that goes. Especially when you're doing something for watching somebody else do it. It doesn't always work. Okay, now when we open it up, there's our card, and it will open this way. So that's going to work pretty nicely. Now you can decorate these two, and now's the time, I think, to put on these little pieces because it's so much easier than when it's all closed up. So I'm going to go ahead, put these on with snail. And again, it's important to not get it into the folds. You could, if you wanted to, put a greeting on this panel here. I made a card earlier that had one of those COVID download PDF things in it. I actually put the greeting in there. Okay, then I'll put the other one on. And it's critical that it doesn't hang over the side, and it looks like it's going to. So I'm going to trim it down a little more, because you want to make sure that it isn't there covering that, and that it doesn't stick out over here, or your panel won't flip out. Still a little bit too much. I guess I did not get it scored exactly. Okay, so let's see how that works. Yeah, that'll work fine. Okay, so now's the time to take care of this little thing that sticks out. So I'm just going to take my scissors and snip it off, just right along the edge of the card. Okay, this leaves a little fold here. Can you see it? This little space right here. So we're going to put glue on that. And this attaches to the back of the card. On my first card that I made with this design, I put it on fastened it to the front, and guess what? The card wouldn't open. The mechanism wouldn't work. So anyway, you glue it to the back of the card. Now when you open the card, look, voila. Just like that. So fun, so fun. Okay, now it's time to put in our decorative pieces on the front. So I have the black circle, and I have the brass foil sheet circle, and I'm going to use glue dots to put them together. So there's a glue dot somewhere on here. Nope. Guess not. Okay, so I'm going to use a couple of glue dots to hold those two together. Like that. And a couple of glued, actually I'm going to use snail, a couple strips of snail. The snail's easier to pick up and move if you don't like the position. And then where is the stand? There it is. I'm going to use glue dots for the stand. put it down about here in the center, and my globe on top. Oh, I get the globe straight and down. That, let's fix the there. So now when you open the door, and I wouldn't use Stampin' Dimensionals for this because when you open the card, you wouldn't want the dimensionals to get caught on it. Okay, then I have already stamped the greeting, Adventure Awaits, and I have used the next to the smallest of the rectangles stitched so sweetly dies. No, that's the smallest. To cut it out. And I'll use Stampin' Dimensionals to pop it up on the front. However, I like to use all of the Stampin' Dimensionals on a page. Not waste any of it. And on the front. Now, this one, this greeting that says congratulations on this new beginning, is a little wide for fitting in there, but I didn't have a stitched So Sweetly Die that would fit, that was more narrow. So I'm going to show you what I do to make it narrower. So I've cut it out once. Now I'm going to scoot up and line up the scallops like that. You see? So it's lined up like that. And then I'm going to take it over to the big shot and cut it out. So here's the end result. Nice short one. Nice narrow one, I should say. So pop that one up. Heck. Come on. I hope that you didn't hear those dogs barking. Somebody must come to the door, and our ever faithful watchdogs let us know. Now I told you earlier that the first time I made this, I had glued this end here to the front, and I had to tear it apart to fix it. So I had, the paper was all messed up there. So I ended up putting strips of the designer series paper along the edges to cover up the boo-boos, and it really turned out nice. It's one of those things when you do make a mistake and you cover it up, sometimes it's nicer than ever. So we'll put a strip along there, along the edge here. Just makes a nice finish, and it hides the mechanism, the end of the mechanism a bit. Again, I like to use the multi-purpose liquid glue so I can kind of move it around a little bit to get it lined up the way I like that. And we'll put another one on this side. This piece is a tad bit long, so I'll just snip it off. And there you have it. Like I say, the measurements will be on my blog tomorrow. And I have a picture tutorial with all of this, all the directions on there. And if you're interested in that, email me at sue@soggystamper.com. I have $5 for the tutorial, and I'll be happy to send you one for $5. So at any rate, my blog is www.soggystamper.com, and my online store is creationsbysue.stampinup.net. Can shop there 24/7. I have a program which you can download a tracker for your orders, and when you have purchased $50, for each $50 that you purchase, you can check off one of the boxes on the appreciation tracker. When you get 8 boxes checked off, I will send you $45 worth of free Stampin' Up! Product. It's up to you to keep track of your purchases, and then fill out what you want in the way of $45 worth and email it to me, and I'll place the order for you. You can't use it for ordering online because I have no way of covering the cost when you order online. But when you order online, you're eligible to check off a box. So if you order $100, you can check off 2 boxes. So the 8 boxes, it doesn't take too long to get those. And who doesn't want free product? So I encourage you to check that out. On my blog, there's a place that says about the program. There's a page there. So thank you for watching this video, this Facebook Live video this afternoon. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. And I look forward to having you come watch again next week. We'll see what we are going to do. Haven't decided. But at any rate, next Thursday at 3 o'clock, I'll be back here demonstrating something else for you to enjoy. So thanks for watching, and have a good evening, and stay safe. Bye-bye.